Mastering your peace. 4. Stoic strategies to thrive around narcissists. Ever felt drained by someone's chaos? Encountering people who drain your energy, whether it's a critical boss, a drama-loving family member, or an ego-driven acquaintance, can feel like wading through an emotional storm. Their words and attitudes seem designed to pull you into their chaos, threatening your peace of mind. But what if you could not only endure these interactions but use them to grow stronger? Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, offers practical tools to maintain your calm and transform negativity into an opportunity for resilience. By applying Stoic principles, you can stand firm, unshaken, and even thrive in the face of difficult people. Let us explore 4 powerful Stoic strategies to help you protect your inner peace and turn adversity into strength. First, embrace the dichotomy of control. As Epictetus said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. You can't change a toxic person's behavior, but you can control your response. When someone's negativity strikes, pause and focus on what's within your power, your thoughts, emotions, and actions. For example, if a coworker belittles your work, instead of reacting with frustration, choose to respond calmly or set a boundary. This shift frees you from the trap of trying to fix others and keeps your energy focused on what matters. Second, reframe their negativity as a test of your character. Marcus Aurelius advised seeing challenges as opportunities to practice virtues like patience and wisdom. When a difficult person provokes you, view their behavior as a chance to strengthen your resilience. If a family member stirs drama, respond with kindness or disengage, proving your commitment to your values. This mindset turns their chaos into a training ground for your growth, making you stronger with each encounter. Third, practice amor fati, the love of fate. Stoics encourage embracing all experiences, even tough ones, as necessary for your development. Instead of resenting a toxic person, ask, how can this make me better? A critical boss might teach you patience, or a manipulative friend could sharpen your boundary-setting skills. By accepting their presence as part of your journey, you strip their actions of power and find meaning in the challenge. Finally, cultivate detachment through perspective. Seneca noted that we often suffer more from our thoughts than reality. When someone's behavior feels overwhelming, step back and see their actions as a reflection of their struggles, not your worth. Use the Stoic view from above exercise. Imagine zooming out to see the situation as a fleeting moment in the grand scheme of life. This reduces the emotional weight of their words and helps you stay grounded. By practicing these strategies, focusing on what you control, reframing challenges, embracing fate, and gaining perspective, you can navigate toxic interactions with strength and clarity. Start small. Pick one principle to apply in your next tough encounter. Over time, these Stoic tools will help you not just survive difficult people, but thrive, turning their negativity into fuel for your personal growth. Your shield against narcissists. The first Stoic strategy is to focus on what you can control. Epictetus emphasized that our power lies in controlling our thoughts, actions, and reactions, not external events or people. A narcissist thrives on eliciting emotional reactions, anger, frustration, or sadness, because it feeds their sense of control. When they make a cutting remark or try to bait you into an argument, pause and remind yourself you can't control their words or behavior, but you can control how you respond. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to breathe and choose a response aligned with your values. For example, if a narcissist criticizes you to provoke a reaction, you might choose to respond calmly or not at all, denying them the emotional fuel they seek. This practice, known as the dichotomy of control, is liberating because it shifts your energy away from their chaos and back to your own agency. By focusing solely on your own thoughts and actions, you create a mental barrier that their manipulations can't breach. Over time, this discipline weakens their influence, as they realize their tactics no longer unsettle you. The second strategy is to practice negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This Stoic exercise involves mentally preparing for challenging scenarios before they happen. Imagine the narcissist's predictable behaviors. Perhaps they'll belittle your accomplishments, twist your words, or play the victim to guilt trip you. By visualizing these scenarios in advance, you strip them of their emotional shock value. For instance, if you know a narcissistic colleague tends to take credit for your work in meetings, mentally rehearse staying calm and professionally asserting your contributions. Picture yourself responding with poise, perhaps saying, "I'm glad you liked my idea. Here's how I developed it." This preparation doesn't just reduce anxiety, it builds confidence in your ability to handle their behavior without being derailed. Negative visualization isn't about pessimism. It's about readiness. By anticipating the narcissist's moves, you rob them of the element of surprise and maintain your emotional equilibrium, no matter how they try to provoke you. The third Stoic strategy is to reframe adversity as an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." A narcissist's behavior, while frustrating, can be a training ground for developing patience, resilience, and self-mastery. Instead of seeing their actions as personal attacks, view them as challenges to practice your Stoic principles. For example, when a narcissist tries to manipulate you with flattery or guilt, see it as a chance to sharpen your discernment and emotional boundaries. Ask yourself, how can I use this moment to become stronger? Perhaps their criticism pushes you to reflect on your values and improve where necessary, or their drama teaches you to stay detached and focused on your goals. This mindset transforms the narcissist from an enemy into an unwitting teacher. By reframing their behavior as a tool for self-improvement, you not only neutralize their impact, but also turn their negativity into fuel for your personal growth. The fourth strategy is to cultivate indifference to external validation. Narcissists often exploit others' desire for approval, using praise or criticism as weapons to manipulate. Stoicism teaches that true happiness comes from within, not from others' opinions. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, advised living according to your own principles rather than seeking applause from others. When dealing with a narcissist, this means detaching your self-worth from their feedback. If they shower you with flattery to win your loyalty, recognize it as a tactic rather than a reflection of your value. If they criticize you to undermine your confidence, remind yourself that their words are more about their insecurities than your worth. Practicing this indifference doesn't mean becoming cold or aloof. It means grounding your self-esteem in your own actions and integrity. For example, if a narcissistic family member dismisses your efforts, focus on whether you acted with honesty and effort rather than seeking their approval. Over time, this detachment starves the narcissist of their power to manipulate you through praise or criticism, leaving you free to live authentically. Applying these Stoic strategies requires practice, but their cumulative effect is profound. By focusing on what you can control, you reclaim your emotional autonomy. Through negative visualization, you prepare for the narcissist's tactics, reducing their ability to catch you off guard. By reframing adversity as growth, you transform their negativity into opportunities for self-improvement. And by cultivating indifference to external validation, you free yourself from their manipulative grasp. Together, these tools build a mental fortress that no narcissist can penetrate. But Stoicism isn't just about defense, it's about thriving. As you practice these strategies, you'll notice a shift. The narcissist's drama becomes less overwhelming, their words less wounding. You'll find yourself responding with clarity and confidence, not because you've changed them, but because you've changed yourself. To make these strategies practical, start small. The next time you interact with a narcissist, choose one strategy to focus on. Maybe it's pausing to focus on what you can control before responding to their provocation. Or perhaps it's mentally rehearsing their behavior beforehand to stay prepared. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, strengthening your mental resilience. Journaling can also help. Write down the situations where the narcissist's behavior triggers configurable for you and reflect on how you applied Stoic principles. This practice reinforces your growth and helps you track your progress. If you're dealing with a narcissist in a high-stakes environment, like a workplace, consider setting clear boundaries while maintaining professionalism, using your Stoic calm to stay firm yet composed. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that your peace is your responsibility, not the narcissist's. Their chaos can only disrupt you if you let it. By embracing these 4 strategies, you're not just protecting yourself, you're building a life of greater clarity, purpose, and strength. The narcissist may never change, but you can. And in that transformation lies your freedom.
Shrink their space in your life. The first step to shrinking a narcissist's role in your life is to set clear, firm boundaries, not with loud confrontations, but with quiet self-respect. Boundaries aren't about pushing the narcissist away with anger or ultimatums. They're about deciding what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Think of yourself as the gardener of your mind, carefully choosing what gets to grow. For example, if a narcissistic coworker constantly demands favors that leave you drained, you might politely but firmly say, "I'm not able to help with that right now." If a family member tries to pull you into a toxic conversation, you could calmly redirect or excuse yourself, saying, "Let's talk about something else," or "I need to step away for a bit." These aren't aggressive moves, they're acts of self-preservation. You're not trying to change the narcissist, you're protecting your own peace. The Stoics would approve of this approach, as it aligns with their emphasis on controlling what's within your power, your actions and choices, while letting go of what you can control, like the narcissist's behavior. By setting these boundaries consistently, you send a message. Your energy is yours to allocate, and their drama doesn't get a free pass. Seneca's insight, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," is particularly relevant here. How often do you let a narcissist's words linger in your mind, replaying their snide comment or manipulative tactic for hours, even days? It's like carrying a pebble in your shoe, small but endlessly irritating. The longer you dwell on it, the more power you give them over your emotional state. Instead, practice shaking out that pebble. When their words start looping in your head, pause and consciously shift your focus to something within your control. This could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and asking yourself, "What's one thing I can do right now to feel grounded?" Maybe it's spending 5 minutes on a hobby you love, like sketching or gardening, or calling a friend who uplifts you. By redirecting your attention, you are not just avoiding their drama, you're reactively choosing to nurture the parts of your life that bring joy and meaning. Over time, this habit weakens the narcissist's grip on your thoughts, as you train your mind to prioritize what truly matters. Another Stoic practice to minimize a narcissist's influence is to reframe their behavior as an opportunity to practice virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." A narcissist's actions, while frustrating, can become a testing ground for qualities like patience, resilience, and self-discipline. For instance, when they try to provoke you with a backhanded compliment or a guilt trip, see it as a chance to exercise your emotional control. Instead of reacting with anger, respond with calm curiosity or neutrality. Perhaps a simple "that's an interesting perspective" or no response at all. This doesn't just diffuse their attempt to unsettle you, it strengthens your ability to stay centered under pressure. By viewing their behavior as a challenge to grow rather than a personal attack, you shift the dynamic. They may still act out, but their actions become less about hurting you and more about refining your own character. This mindset turns their negativity into a tool for your personal development, making their presence feel smaller and less significant. Cultivating indifference to a narcissist, as approval or criticism, is another powerful way to reduce their role in your life. Narcissists often manipulate by dangling praise or wielding criticism to control how you see yourself. Stoicism teaches that your self-worth should come from within, rooted in your own actions and values, not in others' opinions. Seneca advised living according to your own principles rather than chasing external validation. When a narcissist showers you with flattery to win your loyalty, recognize it as a tactic, not a reflection of your value. Similarly, when they criticize you to undermine your confidence, remind yourself that their words say more about their insecurities than your worth. For example, if a narcissistic friend dismisses your achievements, focus on whether you acted with integrity and effort rather than seeking their approval. Ask yourself, did I do my best? Am I living in alignment with my values? By grounding your self-esteem in your own principles, you free yourself from their manipulative cycle, making their opinions irrelevant to your sense of self. To make these strategies practical, start with small, intentional steps. Choose one interaction with the narcissist to practice setting a boundary, perhaps declining a request that feels exploitative or steering a conversation away from their drama. Journaling can also help reinforce these habits. After an encounter, write down what they did, how you responded, and how you could apply a Stoic principle next time. For example, if their comment sparked anger, note how you could pause and focus on your breath instead. Over time, these small acts of discipline build a stronger mental framework, making it easier to keep the narcissist's influence at bay. If you were in a situation where you can avoid them, like a workplace or family setting, focus on professional or polite detachment. Keep interactions brief and focused, and redirect your energy to tasks or relationships that uplift you. Ultimately, shrinking a narcissist's role in your life is about reclaiming your mental and emotional space. Every moment you spend nurturing your passions, connecting with supportive people, or pursuing your goals is a moment you're watering the flowers in your garden. The narcissist's weeds may still be there, but they'll take up less room as you cultivate a life that is vibrant and full. Ask yourself daily, what is one thing I can do to give less space to their drama and more to what makes me feel alive? Maybe it's spending an hour on a project you love, taking a walk to clear your mind, or simply saying no to their latest demand. Each choice is a step toward freedom, building a life where their chaos can't touch your peace. These Stoic practices take time to master, but their impact is transformative. By setting boundaries, redirecting your focus, reframing challenges, and grounding your self-worth, you create a mental garden that's resilient and thriving. The narcissist may never change, but their ability to disrupt your life will diminish as you grow stronger. As Seneca reminds us, true suffering comes from our own thoughts, not reality. Choose to water the flowers and watch your inner world flourish.
Question their ego with curiosity. The first step in challenging a narcissist's inflated sense of self is to approach their behavior with curiosity rather than confrontation. Narcissists feed on emotional reactions, whether it's awe, agreement, or even anger, because it reinforces their belief that they're the center of attention. When they launch into their "I'm the greatest" routine, resist the urge to argue, roll your eyes, or match their intensity. Instead, ask a simple, open-ended question like, "That's an interesting claim. What evidence backs it up?" Or, "How did you arrive at that perspective?" These questions aren't meant to attack or humiliate. They're designed to invite the narcissist to explain themselves, which can subtly expose gaps in their reasoning or force a moment of self-scrutiny. This tactic works because it keeps you detached from their ego-driven narrative. You're not playing the role of admirer or adversary. You're a neutral observer, like a detective gently probing for clarity. This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your words, tone, and intent. By staying calm and curious, you avoid feeding their need for drama while subtly challenging their self-perception. This strategy ties directly into the Stoic concept of proairesis, which refers to the faculty of deliberate choice and moral judgment. Epictetus, a key Stoic philosopher, taught that our power lies in how we choose to perceive and respond to external events. A narcissist's boastful behavior is just that, an external event you can't control, but you can control how you engage with it. Instead of letting their self-aggrandizement frustrate you, see it as an opportunity to practice patience and self-mastery. For example, If a narcissistic colleague brags about single-handedly winning a client, you might ask, "That's impressive. Can you walk me through how you did it?" This question doesn't dispute their claim outright, but invites them to substantiate it, which may reveal exaggerations or shift the conversation to a more factual basis. By choosing curiosity over irritation, you're exercising proairesis, staying true to your values of rationality and composure. This not only keeps you grounded, but also prevents the narcissist from dragging you into their emotional tug-of-war. Another benefit of this approach is that it subtly shifts the dynamic without escalating into conflict. Narcissists often expect either blind agreement or heated opposition, both of which reinforce their sense of importance. By responding with calm, thoughtful questions, you disrupt this pattern. You're not giving them the reaction they crave, nor are you challenging them in a way that invites defensiveness. For instance, if a narcissistic friend insists they're always right in every argument, you might say, "That's a bold stance. What makes you so sure?" This question doesn't accuse them of being wrong, but prompts them to reflect on their certainty, which they may struggle to justify. The beauty of this tactic is its subtlety. It's like turning the spotlight back on them, but in a way that exposes their narrative to scrutiny rather than amplifying it. From a Stoic perspective, this is an exercise in detachment. You're engaging with their behavior without letting it disturb your inner peace. You're not invested in proving them wrong. You're simply staying true to your own clarity and calm. To make this strategy even more effective, pair it with the Stoic practice of reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." A narcissist's ego-driven behavior can be frustrating, but it's also a chance to hone your emotional resilience. Each time you respond to their boasts with a calm question, you're practicing patience, self-control, and intellectual humility. For example, if a narcissistic family member brags about their superior decision-making, you might ask, "What's your process for making such confident choices?" This not only challenges their claim indirectly, but also gives you a chance to strengthen your ability to stay composed under pressure. Over time, these interactions become less about the narcissist's ego and more about your own development. You're not just navigating their behavior, you're using it to build a stronger, more centered version of yourself. Practicing this approach requires mindfulness and consistency, especially since narcissists can be relentless in their need for validation. Start small. Choose one interaction to test this strategy. The next time they launch into a self-aggrandizing story, pause, take a breath, and ask a single, curious question. Notice how it feels to stay detached rather than reactive. Journaling can help reinforce this habit. After the interaction, write down what they said, the question you asked, and how it affected the conversation. Did they back off, get flustered, or did the dynamic shift in a way that felt empowering for you? Reflecting on these moments helps you refine your approach and build confidence in your ability to stay calm. If you're dealing with a narcissist in a professional setting, keep your questions polite and relevant to maintain professionalism while still challenging their narrative. It's also important to recognize when to disengage entirely. Some narcissists may double down when questioned, trying to pull you into a debate or deflect with more boasts. In these cases, the Stoic principle of indifference comes into play. Seneca advised that true happiness comes from living according to your own principles, not chasing external approval or outcomes. If your questions don't shift the dynamic or the narcissist becomes more combative, you can choose to step back. A simple, "That's an interesting take, I'll think it over," can end the conversation without giving them the emotional reaction they seek. This detachment doesn't mean you've lost. It means you're prioritizing your peace over their need for attention. Ultimately, challenging a narcissist's inflated sense of self with curiosity and calm is about reclaiming your power. You are not trying to change them, that S beyond your control, but you re-choosing how their behavior affects you. By asking thoughtful questions, you disrupt their script without sacrificing your composure. By practicing proairesis, you stay intentional and grounded, turning their ego-driven moments into opportunities for your own growth. Each time you respond with clarity and detachment, you're building a mental shield that their chaos can't penetrate. So, the next time a narcissist starts their "I'm the greatest" routine, try a question. See how it shifts the vibe and how it strengthens you. Over time, you'll find their spotlight dims, not because you've dimmed it, but because you've chosen to shine your own light elsewhere. Grow stronger through therapy. Therapy offers a safe space to shift the focus from the narcissist's behavior to your inner inner world, a process that aligns with the Stoic emphasis on controlling what's within your power. When you sit down with a therapist, you are not there to vent endlessly about the narcissist's latest manipulation or to strategize ways to win against them. Instead, you're embarking on a journey of self-discovery, exploring your fears, doubts, and the patterns that keep you entangled in their drama. This takes courage. Facing your vulnerabilities isn't easy, especially when a narcissist's actions may have left you feeling small or uncertain. But this is where transformation begins. A therapist helps you unpack the emotional weight of these interactions, identifying how the narcissist's behavior triggers old wounds or insecurities. For example, if their criticism makes you feel unworthy, therapy can help you trace that feeling back to its roots, whether it's past experiences or ingrained beliefs. By understanding these triggers, you can start to separate your self-worth from their words, building a foundation that their chaos can't shake. Seneca's Stoic philosophy supports this approach, emphasizing that true power comes from valuing what you have, your mind, your resilience, your capacity for growth, and using it wisely. In therapy, you learn to see challenges, like a narcissist's manipulative tactics, as temporary moments rather than defining truths. That heated argument where they twisted your words, that moment they made you feel insignificant. Therapy helps you reframe these as fleeting events, not your entire story. A therapist might guide you to ask, "What did this moment teach me about myself?" Or, "How can I respond differently next time?" This perspective aligns with Seneca's idea that suffering is often a product of our perceptions. By working through these moments in therapy, you begin to see the narcissist's actions as external noise, not a reflection of your value. This shift empowers you to let go of the need for their approval, a common trap when dealing with narcissists, and focus instead on cultivating your own strength and clarity. One of the most powerful aspects of therapy is its ability to help you unlearn habits that keep you stuck in the narcissist's web. Narcissists often exploit your desire for validation, using praise or criticism to keep you tethered to their agenda. Therapy helps you recognize this pattern and break free from it. For instance, if you find yourself constantly seeking a narcissist's approval, whether it's a parent, partner, or colleague, a therapist might help you explore why external validation feels so necessary. Through techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, you can challenge thoughts like, "I need their approval to feel good," and replace them with affirmations like, "My worth comes from my actions and values." This process mirrors the Stoic practice of focusing on what's within your control, your thoughts and choices, rather than external outcomes. Over time, you build a sense of self-worth that's independent of the narcissist's feedback, making their manipulations less effective and their presence less overwhelming. Therapy also provides practical tools to manage interactions with a narcissist, helping you stay grounded in the face of their chaos. A therapist might teach you techniques like mindfulness or grounding exercises to stay calm during tense moments. For example, if a narcissistic coworker tries to bait you into an argument, you might practice a breathing exercise, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, to maintain your composure. These tools align with the Stoic principle of proairesis, or deliberate choice, encouraging you to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. A therapist can also help you develop scripts or strategies for setting boundaries, such as calmly saying, "I hear you, but I'm not engaging in this conversation right now. These small, deliberate actions reinforce your autonomy, making it harder for the narcissist to pull you into their drama. By practicing these skills in therapy, you build confidence in your ability to navigate challenging interactions without losing your peace. Another key benefit of therapy is that it helps you rewrite your narrative, positioning yourself as the hero of your story rather than a victim of the narcissist's behavior. The Stoics believed that adversity could be a catalyst for growth, and therapy embodies this idea by turning your struggles into opportunities for self-improvement. For example, a therapist might guide you to reflect on how dealing with a narcissist has strengthened your patience, empathy, or resilience. By reframing these challenges, you start to see yourself as someone who grows through adversity, not someone defined by it. This shift is empowering. It transforms the narcissist from a looming threat into a minor character in your larger story. You might journal about moments where you successfully stayed calm or set a boundary, reinforcing your progress and building a narrative of strength. Over time, this practice helps you see that your life is about your growth, your values, and your joy, not the narcissist's chaos. Starting therapy can feel daunting, especially if you've hesitated to seek help before. But it's not a sign of weakness. It's a bold step toward reclaiming your power. If you're unsure where to begin, take one small action. Research therapists in your area, ask a trusted friend for recommendations, or explore online platforms that offer virtual sessions. Many therapists specialize in dealing with narcissistic relationships, and finding one who resonates with you can make all the difference. If cost is a concern, look into low-cost or sliding-scale options, or check if your workplace offers an employee assistance program. The Stoics would applaud this proactive approach, as it reflects their belief in taking responsibility for your own well-being. To make therapy most effective, approach it with an open mind and a commitment to growth. Be honest with your therapist about your experiences with the narcissist and how their behavior affects you. Journaling between sessions can deepen your insights. Write down moments where the narcissist's actions triggered you and how you might respond differently using Stoic principles. Over time, these small steps compound, building a stronger, more resilient you. Therapy isn't about erasing the narcissist from your life. It's about ensuring they no longer define it. By focusing on your own growth, you create a life where their chaos is just background noise, not the main event. Ultimately, therapy is a powerful tool for building a mental fortress that no narcissist can breach. It's about rediscovering who you are at your core, your strengths, your values, your passions, and letting those guide you. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that true power lies in valuing what we have and using it wisely. Therapy helps you do just that, turning your struggles into stepping stones toward a stronger, more centered self. So, if you've been on the fence about therapy, let this be your nudge. Take that first step, whether it's making a call, booking a session, or simply reflecting on what you want to gain. That's where your real power begins, and it's a power no narcissist can take away. Guard your mind with calm. The cornerstone of controlling your reactions lies in recognizing that a narcissist's power depends on your emotional response. Their provocations, whether a sly insult, a guilt trip, or an exaggerated boast, are carefully crafted to elicit a reaction that feeds their ego. When you snap, argue, or show distress, they win, because your reaction validates their sense of control. Stoicism offers a way to break this cycle by emphasizing that while you can control their behavior, you can control how you respond. Marcus Aurelius' insight, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed," is a powerful reminder that their words or actions only hurt you if you allow them to. Imagine a narcissist making a snide comment about your work to provoke you. Instead of firing back or internalizing the criticism, you pause, take a deep breath, and choose not to let their words define your worth. This deliberate choice is like standing firm as a cliff while their emotional waves crash around you. Their chaos may rage, but it doesn't move you. By refusing to engage, you deny them the fuel they seek, keeping your peace intact. The key to this strategy is mindfulness, a quiet yet profound act of rebellion against the narcissist's noise. Mindfulness means creating a space between their provocation and your response, allowing you to observe your emotions without letting them take over. Picture this. A narcissistic family member makes a passive-aggressive remark during a gathering, hoping to spark an argument. Instead of reacting impulsively, you take a moment to notice the anger or frustration rising within you. You acknowledge it. Emotions are natural, but you don't let them dictate your actions. Instead, you ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Or, does reacting serve my values? In most cases, the answer is no. By pausing, you give yourself the power to choose a response that aligns with your goal of staying calm and centered. This might mean offering a neutral reply like, I hear you, but I'm not engaging in this right now, or simply walking away. This practice mirrors the Stoic concept of proairesis, or deliberate choice, where you exercise your rational mind to stay in control, no matter how intense the provocation. To make mindfulness practical, incorporate simple techniques to ground yourself in the moment. One effective method is the pause and breathe technique. When the narcissist tries to rattle you, take a slow, deep breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4. This brief pause disrupts the urge to react impulsively and gives you time to choose your response. For example, if a narcissistic coworker criticizes your idea in a meeting to undermine you, use that breath to center yourself before responding calmly with, "Thanks for the feedback. I'll consider it." This response doesn't engage their provocation. It keeps you composed and professional. Another technique is to mentally reframe their behavior as a test of your resilience. Marcus Aurelius often viewed challenges as opportunities to practice virtue, writing, "What stands in the way becomes the way." By seeing the narcissist's actions as a chance to strengthen your patience or self-control, you transform their drama into a training ground for your own growth. This mindset shift not only neutralizes their impact, but also empowers you to grow stronger with each interaction. Controlling your reactions also involves detaching from the narcissist's attempts to define your reality. Narcissists often use gaslighting or manipulation to make you doubt yourself, hoping to provoke an emotional outburst that reinforces their control. Stoicism teaches that your perception shapes your reality, and you can choose not to internalize their narrative. For instance, if a narcissistic partner accuses you of being too sensitive to dismiss your feelings, pause and remind yourself that their words reflect their agenda, not your truth. Instead of arguing, you might say, "I understand you see it that way, but I feel differently." This response acknowledges their comment without validating it, preserving your clarity and calm. Over time, this practice of detachment weakens their ability to manipulate your emotions as you become less reactive to their tactics. It is like playing chess while they replaying checkers, you reoperating on a different level, focused on your own strategy of peace and self-mastery. To build this skill, start small and intentional. Choose one interaction with the narcissist to practice controlling your reaction. For example, the next time they make a provocative comment, commit to pausing for 3 seconds before responding. Use that time to breathe and ask, "What response serves my peace?" Journaling can reinforce this habit. After the interaction, write down what they said, how you felt, and how you chose to respond. Reflect on whether your response aligned with your values and how it affected the dynamic. Did staying calm shift the energy? Did it leave you feeling more in control? Over time, these small acts of mindfulness compound, making it easier to stay steady in the face of their chaos. If you're in a high-stakes environment like a workplace, practice professional detachment. Keep your responses brief, polite, and focused on the task at hand, avoiding personal engagement with their drama. It's also crucial to recognize when disengaging entirely is the best response. Some narcissists escalate their provocations when they sense they're losing control, trying to bait you into a reaction. In these moments, the Stoic principle of indifference to external outcomes is your ally. Seneca advised living according to your own principles, not chasing external validation or resolution. If the narcissist's behavior becomes relentless, you might choose to walk away or limit contact, saying something like, "I'm not discussing this further." This isn't defeat, it's a strategic choice to protect your peace. By prioritizing your emotional well-being, you reinforce that their drama doesn't dictate your state of mind. Ultimately, controlling your reactions is about reclaiming your power in the face of a narcissist's chaos. Each time you pause, breathe, and choose calm over conflict, you're building a mental fortress that their provocations can't breach. Marcus Aurelius. Wisdom reminds us that harm is a choice. You decide whether their words or actions affect your peace. By practicing mindfulness, reframing challenges, and detaching from their narrative, you create a life where your calm is the prize, not their approval. So, the next time a narcissist tries to rattle you, take that pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Choose clarity. Choose strength. That's how you stay unshaken, turning their drama into a mere ripple in your steady, resilient world. Your peace, your power. The first strategy we explored was about making the narcissist's role in your life smaller, a concept rooted in the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. Narcissists thrive on occupying your thoughts and emotions, feeding off the energy you give them. By setting clear, quiet boundaries, whether it's saying no to their demands or stepping back from toxic conversations, you protect your mental space. Think of your mind as a garden, where every moment spent obsessing over their drama waters the weeds. Instead, redirect your energy to nurturing the flowers, your passions, relationships, and personal growth. Seneca's wisdom, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," reminds us that dwelling on a narcissist's words gives them power they don't deserve. By choosing to focus on what uplifts you, like a hobby or a supportive friend, you shrink their influence and cultivate a life that's vibrant and fulfilling, regardless of their presence. The second strategy flips the script on a narcissist's ego by challenging their inflated sense of self with curiosity. Instead of reacting to their boasts with frustration or agreement, ask calm, thoughtful questions like, "How did you come to that conclusion?" This approach, aligned with the Stoic concept of proairesis, deliberate choice, disrupts their need for validation without escalating into conflict. It's not about tearing them down, but inviting them to reflect, which can subtly shift the dynamic. Marcus Aurelius's idea that you have power over your mind, not outside events, applies here. You can't control their ego, but you can control how you engage with it. By staying curious and detached, you avoid their emotional traps and turn their provocations into opportunities to practice patience and clarity. This strategy empowers you to stay in the driver's seat, keeping their spotlight from blinding your peace. The third strategy, embracing therapy, is about turning inward to build a stronger you. Dealing with a narcissist can leave you feeling drained or doubting your worth, but therapy offers a space to explore your emotions, unlearn harmful patterns, and rediscover your core strength. It's not about fixing the narcissist, but about fortifying your own mind and heart. Seneca's belief that true power comes from valuing what you have, your resilience, your values, resonates here. Therapy helps you reframe the narcissist's actions as temporary moments, not your entire story, and equips you with tools like mindfulness or boundary setting to stay grounded. For example, a therapist might help you recognize why you seek a narcissist's approval and guide you to anchor your self-worth in your own actions. This process transforms you into the hero of your narrative, where the narcissist's chaos becomes a minor plot point, not the defining theme. The final strategy, controlling your reactions, is your secret weapon against a narcissist's provocations. Narcissists feed on emotional outbursts, using your anger or distress to reinforce their control. Marcus Aurelius's insight, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed," underscores that their words only affect you if you let them. By practicing mindfulness, pausing, breathing, and choosing calm over chaos, you reclaim your power in that critical moment between their action and your response. For instance, when a narcissist makes a cutting remark, a brief pause and a question like, "Is this worth my peace?" can stop you from reacting impulsively. This practice of deliberate choice, or proairesis, turns their drama into an opportunity to strengthen your self-control. Over time, as you consistently choose clarity over conflict, their ability to rattle you diminishes, leaving you steady and unshaken. Together, these 4 strategies form a Stoic blueprint for not just surviving a narcissist, but thriving in their presence. They're about shifting the focus from their chaos to your growth, from their drama to your peace. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And these tools embody that wisdom. By shrinking their role, you free up mental space for what truly matters. By questioning their ego, you stay detached and in control. Through therapy, you build a resilient inner world that no narcissist can shake. And by mastering your reactions, you ensure their provocations can't touch your calm. Each strategy reinforces the others, creating a cycle of empowerment that grows stronger with practice. The Stoics lived these principles in their own challenging worlds, proving that true strength comes from within, not from external victories. Now, here is my challenge to you. Pick one of these strategies and put it into action this week. Start small. Maybe it's setting a single boundary with a narcissistic coworker, like declining an unreasonable request with a calm, "I'm not able to help with that right now." Or perhaps it's practicing a curious question when they boast, like, "That's impressive. How did you pull that off?" If you're ready for a deeper step, consider exploring therapy to uncover your strengths and unlearn patterns that keep you tethered to their drama. Or try pausing before reacting to their next provocation, using a deep breath to choose calm over chaos. Whatever you choose, notice how it feels to take back control. Reflect on it. Maybe journal about the interaction, noting what worked and how it shifted your perspective. These small acts of intention are like planting seeds in your mental garden, growing a life where your peace is non-negotiable. To make this practical, focus on one interaction at a time. If you're dealing with a narcissist in a high-stakes setting, like a workplace or family, tailor your approach to stay professional or polite while holding firm. For example, in a meeting, a neutral response like, "I'll consider that perspective," can deflect their bait without engaging their drama. If you're exploring therapy, take one step. Research a therapist, ask for recommendations, or check online platforms for virtual sessions. The Stoics would applaud this proactive mindset, as it reflects their belief in taking responsibility for your own well-being. Over time, these small choices compound, building a stronger, more centered you that no narcissist can unsettle. As you move forward, remember that your peace is your power. The narcissist may never change, but you can. Each time you apply these strategies, you're writing a new chapter in your story. One where you're the hero, not the victim. So, what's one way you're going to protect your peace this week? Maybe it's saying, "My peace is not up for negotiation," to yourself or even out loud to set the tone. Share your plan with a friend or community for accountability. It is a way to affirm your commitment to yourself. And if these strategies resonate, pass them along to someone else who might need them. Your journey to a stronger, calmer you is just beginning, and every step you take is a victory. Keep going and own your peace with every choice you make.